We begin this slide presentation with Genesis 11th chapter, verse 29 to 30. There it reads, And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. But Sarai was barren. She had no children. Genesis, the 17th chapter, verse 15. And God said unto Abraham, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. The covenant is with Abraham with the promise of a son in his old age. Genesis, the 17th chapter, verse 16. There it reads, And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings shall, uh, kings of people shall be of her. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? Abraham is the father of the Hebrews. These passages establishes Abraham's ethnicity. First passage, Genesis the 14th chapter and the 12th verse. There it reads, And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelled in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. Genesis 14th chapter and 13th verse. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelled in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Iscol, and brother of Aner. These were confederate with Abram. God's promise to Abraham of a son in his old age. Genesis 21st chapter, verse 1 to 3. There it reads, And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived, and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. So now the covenant is now with Isaac. Genesis the 17th chapter, verse 19. God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Genesis 25th chapter, verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. Genesis 25:21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Isaac's sons Esau and Jacob. Genesis 25th chapter, verse 24 to 27. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. After that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them, and the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. So now Jacob receives the blessing. Genesis the 27th chapter, verse 27 to 29. There it reads, and he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Here we have a chart that contains Jacob's bloodline. Exodus, the first chapter, verse 1 through 5. There it reads, now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. So now we have an overview of the patriarchs as we see in Genesis, the 12th chapter to the 50th chapter. We have Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. But now wait. What is the significance of Egypt as it relates to the Hebrews? Egypt is the smoking gun. And what do we mean by Egypt being the smoking gun? What we mean when we say that Egypt is the smoking gun is this. The skin color and hair texture of the Egyptians was the same skin color and hair texture as the Hebrews. The ancient Egyptians were not white or Europeans. We know this to be true because the Egyptians depicted themselves as being black on the walls of their temples and monuments. This is also the direct proof that the ancient Hebrews were also black as well. Stay tuned as we go to our next fire treatment.